Lion's Gate activation, Leo season. There is so many amazing things happening that I can't wait to see what this free card reading on Friday is bringing into our lives with a very special guest, one of my certified Reiki practitioners, and I cannot wait. Hello there, Dark Rainbow Healing. Hello there, Spirit and Money Consulting. Hi there. Okay, I can't wait to bring you on, Dari. Flow to Adia, because I always say it like that, but I don't even know if that's really how you pronounce your handle. Happy Friday. Here we go. So let me go ahead and invite my guest.
Look it, we are in a portal of magic.
How do I do this?
You're almost there. You're getting there. You're good.
We're here.
You know what? Sometimes some things start upside down and then they all come together, right? So great. So as more people are joining, how are you doing? How are you feeling? It looks so potent and magical where you are right now.
I'm doing good. Just chilling. I'm like downstairs. I'm in the middle of moving, as you saw, like all my boxes. So I'm trying. I have like a light and the incense going.
I love it. I love it. Are you moving like back permanently to like Florida? Is that what's happening, or what's? Hi there, Cheller. We love you. What's happening? Hi, Regina. What's happening?
I'm definitely gonna be living in Florida for now. So definitely like South Florida community. Watch out, your girl's coming through. So
I'm so excited. I'm so like selfishly jealous. I mean, not jealous, but like I'm so selfish, and I'm sorry for anybody that might be jealous in New York that misses you, because I am so happy to know that you're radiating your magic that much closer. So love you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know if like you were. I know like a lot of people are going to miss you in New York for at least right now, but we get to have you here, and that's
yes. I'm so excited. I'm excited to get away from the cold weather. Be in Florida for December.
I know.
I'm trading in the salt for the sand. Like,
yeah.
Done with the snow.
I'm not jealous of Florida. Well, yes, Cheller, I agree. But super jealous of y'all being there together. Yeah. You know what, though? I got to say this. I think that we are raising the vibes in Florida. And it's so funny because I remember, I don't know about you, but I used to really have a hard time with Florida. And I used to live in California for a little bit. And I know that's where Cheller's based out of. And I absolutely loved California. And I remember talking to a healer saying to them, like, they were like, I really just feel like I need to be in Florida to really help to kind of raise the vibrations. I'm like, yeah, but why would you want to stay here? And now I kind of get it. I feel like we're meant to be here at this time, like help to elevate this place. Yeah.
And I really do believe, like, as crazy as this is, like, Florida is very like, it's like near the Caribbean, right? And like a lot of important bodies of waters, because you could go to Europe, you could go to so many different kind of waters. And I do feel like there's something potent happening within the earth. Because, as they say, so above, so below. So I definitely feel like if you're like me, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people, like we're all being called somewhere, and we are where we are. And we just have to trust the process, because something more powerful is happening than like meets the eye. So like I do feel that like we are lifting the vibration, like uplifting community, because a lot of people now more than ever are seeking that inner knowledge. A lot of people are realizing that we are more than what we've learned in school. Like there is this whole other universe inside of us.
Hi, Cheryl. Yes. I mean, let me ask you a question. What do you feel like, why do you think that is? That's what I want to just from your perspective and what you're picking up on with this collective energy insight.
So definitely, I feel like people, we have, like all of us, we have finally woken up to like the truth, because I feel like when how the energy was where we're coming from, like a pandemic and everything that's going on, like from a time where like our emotions were stirred in such a high frequency of fear that I feel like a lot of us were pushed to that point, you know, like this is the worst that's happened. And it's okay. Like, you know, because at some point when something really bad happens, you just don't care. So when you don't care, you want to find something that you're passionate about. And I believe that like through like exercise, a lot of people through moving meditation, they have learned quietness, right? And they don't realize like it's the inner world that they're shining their light on because they're consumed with the exercise. But like, you know what I mean? That little seed of inner knowing is being planted. And I really do believe energy attracts energy. So if you have that seed of inner knowing planted inside of you and you're in the community and you see others with seeds that are glowing within them, like it's just, you know, energy attracts energy. So I just believe that's that. It's the elevation of the community.
I think that that's such a beautiful way to really kind of phrase that, because I think that there was so much fear. And even if, you know, there's so many different people that had such a different experience with COVID, and also just in the pandemic being quarantined, there was all these different, you know, vibrations of energy. But I think what it really kind of did was create space for us to sit with ourselves.
Yeah.
Create space for us to really get clear of what it is that we want, what's important. And I think a lot of that has shifted for so many people, where it was like distract, 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 where now there's this internal shift that we're seeing play out. And I think about like, you know, an ocean, talking about Florida, right? Where I feel like COVID, the pandemic, was all the different barnacles, all the different things just coming up and coming up and coming up to the surface. And now we're still sitting with that. We're still sitting with some of that energy. We're still sitting with those barnacles. And it's about how do we want to move through it, perhaps differently than we did before. Yeah.
That's where we are. It's like, how are we moving forward? And like how you say, like the barnacles that like wash up, it's like, are we going to like give our energy to what's washed up ashore, or are we gonna like, you know, like, or how are we gonna like move forward with it? You know what I mean? Because you know sometimes when you go to the beach and you do see the barnacles and you see all that stuff washed up ashore, and you're like, ew, this beach is gross, and you start thinking all this like, like negativity. But in reality, it's still the beach. It's still this huge body of water of purification. So there's like something deep in that. Like, is that what we are in, as a collective? Are we like on the beach filled with all this debris and like we can't see where we are?
Woo! That's where I think it's so important that we're doing this free card reading on Friday. Hello there, Steve. Because I think that we're feeling that. I think a lot of us are experiencing in this Leo season this spark that is really kind of wanting to drive us more into the direction of what we do want versus what we don't. Yeah. Hi there, Mario, Mystic Cholo. We love you. So, Dari, you are a Reiki practitioner. You are a yogi and a psychic. I kind of feel like, can we dive in and then kind of talk more about this? Because you're just fantastic. And I know that there's so many amazing things that you have that you're offering. But I kind of just feel called to start pulling cards. Are you down for that?
Right. Yeah, lead the way.
Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to obviously use my deck because I'm not ever using it. So, thank you, loves. I really do have to say though, I really enjoy using it. Like, it's not even just because it's my deck, it's also I enjoy using it. You know?
It's the vibe. It's the vibe. I don't have it yet, but I have seen like your lives, and it is a vibe. Like, it's definitely like the animals, the way that you channel animals and the way that you're just like so in sync with the animal kingdom, like it hits different.
Yes, thank you. It does. It does. So I'm going to just invite us to just take a moment, take a collective deep breath in, and let that go. And just really starting to tune into the energy around your solar plexus chakra, above your navel, below your chest. This is the space where we connect to the element of fire, which is this Leo season energy. And so these are messages that are for the collective, but what Spirit is sharing with me at this moment is also an opportunity for just self-encouragement, self-empowerment, self-reflection. So just taking that in and letting that go. Okay. That felt good. Need that. So the first card that I pulled is I seek clarity, focus, observation, hawk, and crown chakra. Actually, what I think that this is speaking to is that this Lionsgate portal, and I think that we're probably experiencing this already, so feel free to leave in the comments. A lot of downloads, a lot of different insights, a lot of different messages are coming through. And quite often that can be so exciting where it's like, oh my God, I'm doing this and this, and I kind of want to do that, and I want to do that. Like we're in the action of our desires versus just feeling them from this Cancer season. And so the Hawk's energy is really kind of encouraging us to focus before we decide to dive in, right? So really kind of look at all of these downloads, take them all in, take note. But right now, you might want to be in the action of them, but really get clear of what are the first ones that perhaps you really want to dive into. So it's like I see clarity, because the thing with the Hawk's energy is that they kind of circle around. They observe, they take it in, and then they dive to kind of get their prey. And so this is the opportunity for us to take it all in, take in that excitement, take in all the different downloads, the channeled messages, but really get clear which ones are that you really want to focus on. Which are the ones that you can actually see yourself aligning to putting into motion? Because a lot of the times we can have these different, downloads and experiences, but which ones do we actually truly want to activate? Because this Lionsgate portal is going to be an opportunity for activation. So we get to get really clear of what that looks like. Yeah. Cheller is saying, it seems like not only are we getting the downloads, but have all cracked open just a little bit more to receive the messages. 100%. Yes. So feel free, Dari, to pick another card. I love this. Or anything that you want to share.
No, well, definitely like what you said about the hawk, right? And it makes me think about the hawk is such a powerful animal, right? And it needs to like kind of preserve its energy, because if it's wasting its energy, it's going to be tired. It won't have the energy to actually hunt. So in order to hunt, it's like laser focused. It probably sees a whole bunch of different meals that it can have, but it has to wait for that one specific one that it's like aligned with it. It's what it wants to eat. It's easy to grab, and bam, like it's not desperate because it's so like rich and powerful.
Like, I love that. That is so great. It's not desperate. It's rich and powerful. Wow. Yeah, because I think that we can have all these different downloads and messages, but which ones are the most impactful and powerful?
Yes. And also too, it's like sometimes like the ego does sneak into our downloads. Like it's the truth. It's the human experience. Like that's what it is what it is. We have to learn to accept the ego, the ego, whatever. I think of waffle.
I love it. I love it. I love the ego. That's so great. It's so good. Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like learning to discern, like, is this really like what I want, or I'm just gonna settle for this because I have like control over it? You know what I mean? Because that's also too, like, because sometimes like our downloads kind of are our motives too, right? Like it's
yeah.
Let's see what's the top card. I got swift decisions.
What are you? Get out of here! Stop it! This is so. This is gonna tell a story, because I usually pick 3 cards. I'm like, this is gonna tell a story. So this is gonna be great back and forth. Go ahead.
And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the 9 of Swords. So it's like stress and anxiety. So we are stepping out of like going with that energy of making our choices, like going after our intention, right? So it's like, are we going to set our intentions based off of like what's going to get us out of stress or anxiety? Or are we going to set our intentions on things, right? Like habits that are going to be like swift. They're going to get us to, like faster to our goal. And sometimes faster doesn't mean manifesting in the physical. Sometimes it can just be accepting within that, hey, I am worthy of this. Like,
woo, that is so beautiful. I love every part of that. And where do you think the 9 of, was it Swords where do you think that interplays? Yeah.
Let's go with the colors. So definitely solar plexus. So community for sure. The blue goes for the throat, right? So like throat chakra-ish energy vibes, like how we express who we are. And also like the throat chakra is kind of like, it can be like our voice can either express our divine intuition with intention, right? Like it can be like, we can use our voice with intention, or we can use our voice with stress. You can be like, you can be stressed out talking, like, and you can not necessarily like stressed out talking, like you can stressfully manifest with your words. Like you can use stressful words to manifest your most highest desires, when usually what we're being channeled to now in the community, since we're walking out of like getting that quick manifestation. As you can see, she's kind of like chilling, and she's got like flowers and wings and growing. So I want to like say, maybe it's like using our, letting like the higher realms wishes, intention, kind of like be what we speak. So for example, yeah, like for example, like a quick example is like, you want to live you want to move, right? So it's not like, oh, I want to move because I hate the house that I'm in. It's like, I am moving to a home that's aligned with my vibrational energy. I am aligning myself with the home that's going to help me discover talents that I didn't know I had. Like, you know what I mean? Like when we want to change something, we don't ask for what we want, because it pushes it away. And that's the suffering we're walking away from.
I think that this is just such a potent reminder, because I think it's like, are you manifesting to get out of perhaps a lower vibration, or are you manifesting something to reach for the higher one? Because the higher vibration always wins. And so if we talk about exactly like what you're saying, it's like, you know, are you manifesting to be less stressed, to be more peaceful? Or are you actually manifesting like, what is that higher shift, and what does that vibration look like? Because that's a way more powerful place to kind of build your foundation from. So beautiful. Well, I mean, the next card that I got here is I tune out to tune in. Panda Bear, harmony. I think that really take this weekend to tune into what is it that your heart truly wants. Okay? Because the opportunity here with the panda bear is that they sit, they eat their bamboo, they actually remain peaceful when even chaos erupts, you know, around them. And so this is, I think we've gone through a lot of different disruptions, that's safe to say, and I do feel that there are more peaceful times ahead. I actually feel this energetic huge shift in October. I don't know what's happening, I'm not an astrologer, but I just keep getting these different messages of, for my one-on-one clients in Reiki, of October. And so I do think that there is more peace ahead of us, but right now is a time for us to kind of go back to the energy that we did receive during the pandemic, of sitting with ourselves and saying, what nourishes me the most? What do I want to really fuel myself with in a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual way? How do I want to nourish my heart at this time? What is it that my heart really desires? Because coming back to this card and what you're saying, if your heart's not fully invested in it, it's going to be harder for you to dive in and actually keep it going, right? The heart leads the way. And we know this because we may have been in relationships where our heart was not fully into it, or a job that perhaps we weren't fully aligned with. And eventually we want to leave that situation. And so right now is a time for really to get clear. What is it that you really want to dive into that speaks to your heart? And the way to really do that is by tuning out to tune in. Yeah. Anything you want to say? Yeah. Before we go on, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I love the tune out to tune in, because I think of like the cone, like you're tuning out, right? Tuning out from like the ethers, and you bringing it in, and then it's like you're tuning it out to like the earth. So it's like this, like you bring in to bring out. It's just divine. But I'm gonna pull off of, since you mentioned Halloween. Well, October is Halloween.
It's Halloween.
Not October, it's Halloween.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm gonna pull from the spellcasting oracle, because I definitely do get that vibe too. Like October is definitely gonna be like, I don't want, like, it's just gonna be something else. I think that like the way that the cosmos are aligned. I'm not an astrologer either, so I really don't know, but I do feel that like the power of intention is so powerful, and I just believe that like there's so much that's going on that like we don't even know. Like,
So true.
And it's like, let's just pull the card because it's just like,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Sheller said, I already started putting up Halloween decorations.
Yes!
I'm ready. So great. So great.
Inspiration.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And then look at what's on the bottom of the deck. Oh, yes, sitting still.
Sitting still to get inspired.
Free. Life purpose. And this obviously is so cheesy. It's obvious. Like in the yoga tree pose, like you need to have a focus, a drishti, your eyes focused somewhere so that you can have your balance. And it doesn't matter where you have your foot. A lot of the times people feel that like they have to put their foot all the way up on their thigh to like be this beautiful tree. But you can have your foot propped on the standing ankle and be a magnificent tree. So it's like what I'm feeling right now is just like being grounded, being still. I want to say moving meditation. I feel like kayaking. I feel like hiking. I feel like walking outdoors, being outside. Because I just feel that like the power of intention sets you free. So it doesn't matter. And this is interesting because it's like we are of God. I'm going to use God. You could call source,
spirit, whatever aligns to you. Yeah.
Even if you're atheist, like you are still light source energy. Like, hello. So, right. So it's like the power of intention, life purpose. Like that's what we're, if you're going to focus on anything, focus on that. Yes. What lights you up?
Yeah. What are you passionate about? And I think when you're passionate about something, you can stand that much more fully into it, right? Hello there. Hi, loves. Yeah. All right. I feel like I gotta like round this out because I'm like, yeah, this is happening. I rejuvenate, self-love, purify, peacock and crown chakra. We're getting a lot of crown chakra energy, which is telling me it's like, I think that a lot of us are listening to spirit. And even if we don't know exactly what that means, and even if you're new to all of this spiritual woo magic, it's listening to that higher self within your energy and your essence. And really kind of, I think that this is the opportunity for us during this Leo season. If you see a lot of Leo energy, and like I said, I'm not an astrologist, but there's like this bold, there's this courageous energy that Leos tend to have of putting themselves out there. And that comes from loving themselves, right? And so I think that right now is an opportunity for us to love ourselves more, for us to rejuvenate perhaps some of the thoughts that we would not bless, right? For us to really purify and get really clear of, you know, what is it that your heart is truly wanting at this time? You know, it's like, when's the last time that you've even asked yourself, what is it that you truly want? If you were to explain to a perfect stranger who doesn't know you, has no concept of your background, what you've been through, but if a stranger were to just ask you what it is that you want, that's the energy to come from. I don't even know if I could honestly say that, you know, because it might look materialistic. It might look like catered to perhaps the person that's asking me. So like, if a stranger were to ask you right now what it is that you want, I'd love to know in the comments from anybody that's here, what would you say? What would you say? And that's what we get to carry, and that's what we get to activate on this Lionsgate and also throughout the rest of August.
And it's interesting, like you're like, I'm getting this like image of like the lion in the, you know, in its habitat and all the lionesses, as that's they're called, right? Bringing the food to him. And like, I honestly feel like it's also a representation of letting the masculine energy within us rest and letting the feminine energy lead the way.
Yes.
I feel that because it's like the lion protects, right? But then it has the tribe, it has the community, and it's like within it, there's like you. Everyone has their place. You just have to play your role. So it's like, where are we play? What role are we playing, and in what place are we playing it in our lives? Because ultimately, like, we can think about what's going on in the outside world. We want more money. We want a better job. We want this. We want that. But it's like, you can have all of that, and you probably have it. But are you allowing yourself to play the role to see it, or are you in your head playing a different role? Like,
Yes.
it's a lot of like, it's a hard time, right? Like, it's hard. I say it's hard because you really have to think outside the box, because right now we're talking about it's time to get focused, it's time to get clear, and right off the bat we want to just like jump on the goals and start journaling and go to like wherever and invest in our business. But no, like, you've hunted already. I think and also too, I think a lot of us, we've already like hunted the hunt. Like, we have we're stocked.
Yeah.
We can go lay down. Like, we're good. So it's like, I just feel like a lot of yellow energy staying still.
There's some great comments here. There's a life of depth. I love that. Or a life of deep, like deep, I get that. Community, connection, joy. That's what I want, Cheller. Peace and freedom. And then Steve says this: I think that we want what we want is something that is continuously being discovered and explored 100% to make sure that they are aligned to truth, love, and light. And that's a great point, because it's like, what if what you wanted aligned with what your ultimate values were, right? And that's the energy to come from, because we could want a lot of different things, but really, what is the essence? What is the heart of that desire, right? Because it's like, they talk about this in the Buddhist, scriptures, of how, like, basically all of our fears, you can or it's actually, kleshas, but they go back to like basically being this fear of death, right? And so it's like, okay, you're scared of spiders. Well, why are you scared of spiders? Because I'm scared that the spider's going to bite me. And then what? And then something would happen to me and I would have to go into the hospital. Okay. And then what? And then I would be in the hospital and maybe nobody would come visit me. And then what? I would die alone. Right. So it's like, we can trace back all of our fears to ultimately even that. That's like something that's like just a Buddhist philosophy. However, so when we think about what we want, what is the heart of that? Because it is going to be a different discovery, rediscovering, different exploration, because what we want can change, right? At any single moment, depending on what we are, where we are in our life. But what is the heart? What is the essence? What is the juiciest part of that? That's what we're talking about. And so thank you, Steve, for bringing that home, because that's true alignment right there.
That was good.
I don't even know where I went.
No, that was so divine, because it all comes down to surrendering. And like, when we surrender, it could sometimes mean like resting, or it could sometimes just be surrender could be rest, or it could also just be saying to the universe, this is what it is. I don't care. I'm a freaking magical person. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored, child of God. Nothing could stop me from my purpose. This is what's happening, but I don't give a shit, because this is where I'm going. And bam, that's it.
I love that. I feel like you got to round us out here, because this is so good. So good.
Right. So I'm going to pull from the saints and mystics, since you're talking, since a lot of third eye, a lot of like higher connection.
Yes.
So let's call upon like the galactical forces, the higher beings that there are. We have the Reiki masters, we have the ascended masters, but we also have like all these saints and mystics, right?
Yes.
So yeah, they've paved the way and they're here. So let's continue. It's the marathon, it's the baton, right? So what can the collective, who can we call upon as a teacher? All right, I got 3. Yes. Okay. So
I feel like this is gonna speak right to me as you were doing that. I was like, yeah, let's just go. Let's just do it.
Well,
so
creative channel. That's right off the bat, I get solar plexus, because that's how we create our persona. Like that's like when you wake up in the morning and you brush your teeth, you get dressed, and you have that habit, this is what your creativity is. Like using our creativity, because also like think about it, when you're a child, children are very creative. Like you literally could you just observe a child play and they are just like mystified, like, and
So
it's
true.
and that's a creative, that spark of creativity, like realistically that's how we manifest. You have
I
to do
love
the
that.
work, you have to put yourself in the position, you have to align yourself, but like your creativity, our creativity is very powerful. We have Edgar Cayce messages, so I see books, knowledge, so it's like I feel like a lot of retreating, like read, like everyone that watches this, read, like take a break from Netflix, take a break from the TV, take a break from everything. Like watch a little bit of TV, do your thing, don't deprive yourself, because that's how we end up binging. But right now, there is a lot of messages and there's a lot of downloads going on. And I just feel like right now we're all being called to read, because in these things that we read and in the law and in the knowledge that we're going to learn, there's going to be a lot of uncoding that's going to help us. An
Ooh.
interesting student of the universe. I don't make this shit up. Plato. Like we're all students. We're being called like to study, because clearly there is more than what we know. And think about it this way. We all love to bake, right? Or we all love cake, right? So it's like when you start baking, you start baking like the dollar boxes, the $2 boxes. And then eventually you get courage and then you start doing recipes. And then before you know it, you're like on Nailed It, right? It's on Netflix. So it's like, that's what it is. Okay. That's pretty much what it is. Like, don't be embarrassed to buy the boxed cake and bake it and call yourself a baker. So in other words, don't be afraid to call yourself a magical person if maybe your life doesn't seem that magical, because you're still magical.
I love that. I don't know. I want to make sure. Can everybody hear the sound? Let me know. Because I know that Mystic Cholo, Mario, is having a little bit of a hard time. For my meditation practice, I've been listening to the Positive Heads podcast, because it's the education that stirs so much insight within. Yeah, I mean, well, this is what's really interesting. I did a live last week. I can't even remember what day it is. I did a live last week with Tessa, who's another certified Reiki practitioner. And basically, so it's just you, Mario. I'm so sorry. We love you though. Poor Mario. It's just Mario having the issue. I know we're all like making fun of him now. But I think that we talked about how right now Jupiter is in retrograde until December, and I was like, oh, no. I was like, because I know that Jupiter is all about abundance and expansion and all this like, amazing energy. And I was like, oh no. And Tessa was like, no. But this is, just hear me out. She's like, this is actually an opportunity for us to go inwards and expand, for us to study more, for us to read more, for us to discover more about ourselves. So everything that you were saying is so accurate to what actually retrograde we're in right now, which is this opportunity to read, to self-study, to not necessarily have it all figured out, but the dedication and the commitment to our inner expansion is there. Yeah.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Oh,
like
so right. So I have a question for you. Are you down? Because I figured that we could like maybe end the live round 1, and we had already some people that had asked. Like we had one person, Steve. Yes, for a reading. But I figured that maybe people can put in the comments, or not the comments. I'm so sorry. The question box. Otherwise, I lose it in the comments. Put it in and I have to go back, and that like can sometimes be a little bit challenging. But put into the questions if you'd like to do a card. Just put it into the question box so I can make sure to put it in. If you have a specific question, feel free. Feel free to come. The one thing I do want to just like mention too is that Reiki training is happening. Ooh. My last level 1 and 2 training of this year. So if you were curious about learning Reiki, becoming an energy healer with me, tomorrow is level 1. So there's still time to sign up. And then on the 27th is level 2. If you enroll in both, you actually receive a discount. So anybody who is really wanting to expand their intuition, Dari is one of my amazing certified Reiki practitioners and just a living example of tuning into her intuition, tuning into yourself. I mean, I know that you're also a yoga teacher, you're also a psychic. There's so many beautiful things that you do. And it's been such a journey to have you in my front row and also to have you be one of my students. And I know for you, you have some amazing things going on as well. So feel free to share before we dive into this.
Yes, catch me on YouTube. I'm currently like, and it's interesting because I feel like knowledge is so powerful, and I am where I am today because of that. Like I did the Reiki, the level, like the mentor,
you did the whole mentorship through the card reading. Yeah.
That was in August of last year, and within 12
that was.
Yes, and like my life has changed so much. Oh my god, my dog's coming downstairs.
Love it. Bringing the dog.
Yeah, hi Papa. But like, yeah, I'm still right now. My goal is I will hopefully focusing on being a yoga teacher. So I'm just wrapping that up. And in South Florida, I will keep follow me on social media. Keep up with me. I will post when I do start teaching and where I'll be. And then I do card readings, and I like to do little random vlogs on YouTube. So the link is in my bio. So yeah.
And you know, and I love this, Cheller. It was like, and it was an honor to be in that class with you, Dari. I agree. You know, and that's what's so beautiful about this community is that like it's a connection that's not just about learning Reiki, but being able to connect with beautiful souls. And I know that you do so many amazing reels with like life, beautiful, like collective channeled messages and card pulls. But you do a lot of different stuff, and I know that you also do Reiki on there. But like. So there's so many different amazing ways of just following you. That's been so cool to see you really step in to your gifts. I mean, I think that like since I first met you to now, it's like the expansion just continues. But it's really beautiful to see the potency of your confidence, how it's just been growing since sharing. And I love that. And it's just really such a beautiful, beautiful opportunity that we all get to receive your gifts now.
Yes, but knowledge is power, my people. Like knowledge is power, and like this is not planned. This is like obviously divinely guided. Like the message is divinely guided. Like knowledge is power.
Yes,
yes.
Knowledge is power. Exactly. Mystic Cholo, he found the knowledge is power. Found the issue. The work truck. There you go. I'm a Reiki master and feeling disconnected. Do you do sessions where you can connect and see what's going on? Yes, I do. So if you would like to book a session with myself or even Dari, Dari's actually done a one-on-one session with me. So Dari, do you want to share just like a little bit of your experience? Yeah.
Oh yes. I've actually had you in the community and one-on-one.
Yes.
Okay. One-on-one sessions are very therapeutical in the sense that number one, you're guided in the meditation. Automatically your nervous system relaxes in that, so you feel better physically. And once you're able to feel peaceful in the physical, your mind eases, and during that process you rest, but also the divine messages that just relays at the end go hand in hand. Like for me, they've been kind of like, especially in the beginning of my journey, before I even thought about like I never imagined I would take Reiki courses to do anything, yoga, nothing. But it was a want though, it was a wish. But it helped me. The sessions have helped me uncover my true potential and just be confident in who I am.
I love you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Healing.
Such an honor. Such an honor. Yeah, you know, the last parts, I mean, it's really interesting because it's like I've always just channeled through Reiki, but the last part of my sessions on a one-on-one are like 20 minutes dedicated to like seeing what's happening, what's energetically going on. And especially if you have any questions or if you're looking for guidance around a specific area in your life. But the last 20 minutes, it's like a deep dive. I mean, like front and back pages of notes of like how to really shift and how to really transform so you can feel aligned with your higher self. And it's been really potent to be able to be on this journey with you and seeing all of that. And I know that anybody who's also studied Reiki, like Cheller, all of us, like we all have that gift because we come from that lineage.
We're all together. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you come to LA so I can get a session from you in person? Thanks. Listen, Steve, I have any excuse that I can to get out to LA. I'm there for it. I'm there for it. And actually, that's our first person that put a report. Report, that sounds really aggressive. But Steve, yes, who is a fellow Reiki practitioner as well, would love a reading. So here we go, Steve. Let's do it. Getting it. Ooh, this is awesome for you, Steve. Okay. And also, yes, feel free for anybody that's joining. Know that even if we don't get to you today, know that like one question perhaps that somebody else has, or one person who's sharing their energy, probably will also resonate with you. So I trust what is ahead. Explore perseverance. Steve, there is so much ahead of you based on what you are creatively creating right now for your life. The sacral chakra is all about us owning our authority in the relationships outside of us. And so right now, I would invite you to ask, what is it that I truly wish to create? And how does that creation actually help me to own the power that I desire to stand in? Because the thing with the camels, it's about I trust what's ahead, because they journey for thousands of miles without drinking water. So there's this sense of perseverance. There's this sense of taking everything in and not necessarily seeing the light, but knowing that it's there, that even just that small glimmer is that what's ahead of you. So this is all about, I trust what's ahead. It's knowing that the destination is so there, and it's so there because you're co-creating it right now. And so right now is really the time of like, keep going, but get clear. What is it that you want to create? And how does that creation help you to stand in your authority in the relationships outside of yourself? So every relationship outside of yourself. What would you like to add, Dari? Love that.
That was sick. So, Steve, I have the bottom of the deck. Speaking on family, we have the wolf, right? So you just said something about trusting what's leading forward. The wolf pack has to trust the leaders in the front. Right? And then this card fell out. I think about what you're saying about you may not see the light as you see the deer, the animal is on the, it's like in the flowers, right? So it kind of maybe doesn't have that great vision to see, or the vision's a bit obstructed, but look at the light. Look at the angels. So also I feel like gratitude here is playing also a big role. And gratitude doesn't mean always like what it means just to be grateful. It's sometimes that is the gift. You know, like we get gifts in every season of life, right? And right now, one of the biggest gifts that you're being given is that peace, that gratitude, that piece of gratitude. Like, and for all I know, maybe I have a feeling like you are the pack leader. And maybe this is a role that you're stepping into because it's maybe not like what you, something that, you know, or it could be what you've always wanted, or maybe, or I'm not 100% sure. Because sometimes, like, because like sometimes it's like in life, I say I'm not sure. It's because sometimes in life we end up where we are and we're totally happy, but we never knew what's what we wanted. So you're being called to lead.
Oof. And sometimes we don't always see ourselves as a leader, right? Sometimes it's just a reading like this that confirms something that we haven't fully embraced and owned within ourselves. Hi, Jasmine. We love you, Jasmine. Jasmine and I are going to be doing something for Lionsgate, so stay tuned.
Sounds magical.
I'm excited. Cheryl, put it in the question so I can make sure to remember it if you can over here. So we're going to go to Cheller House of Lights. Steve is totally a leader. Yes. I would love a card as we get back into my kids' school year and anxiety is starting to rise for me. Okay. This is interesting. Cheller, I'm getting a lot of sacral chakra. Wow. My creativity awaits, imagination, flow, seal, and sacral chakra. You're learning what I would invite you to start to explore now to help with some of this anxiety, because the thing is this anxiety is clairvoyance acting in the most negative way. Anxiety is clairvoyance acting in the most negative way. We see it, we feel it, we believe it, and it's real. It's real. We're not denying it. So what I'm sensing is that right now is a time for you, Cheller, to be like, what's my new flow? Mm-hmm. What does my new flow look like? How are you dropping your kids off of school? What happens after? What's then as they're in school? What are you doing? And have it be completely different than what it is now. Okay. Nothing against the routine. Okay. Nothing against, what you have that's working, but there's an opportunity with the seals energy to really imagine it for yourself. Take a moment, sit with it, visualize what your day looks like, because my creativity awaits. I think that this is a year for you when they go back to school that there's going to be a lot of creative juices flowing through. Going back to that Jupiter expansion. Right now, going inward for you, Cheller, really thinking about what services do you want to create? What new programs, opportunities, what community are you building? And imagine it, and be in the flow of it, right? The sacral chakra is that water energy. And so it's knowing that there's always going to be waves. There's going to be times where things are knocking us down, or there's going to be times where we get to just go swim out endlessly in the ocean. And so there's going to be different waves and flows. However, I remember I learned this from my sister. She would say, whatever problems you might have, throw creativity at it. And I always thought that was something that was such a great way of how to really look about how you can kind of allow the space to be in the new. So I hope that is serving you. So that's huge. Kids will be in 2 different schools, and I've been trying to decide if I should ride the bus. I can change my fear-based vision of that into flow. Yeah. So if it feels that might give you opportunity, to create, right? And even create with your kids. You are such an amazing, soul in that. So I think that's really what it's about. And I know, Daria, you're a mom as well. So I can't wait to see what you pull and how this kind of connects. Hi, Alicia.
Bottom of the deck, you have joy. So creativity again with the yellow, and then I see red home. So definitely this is a season for you to create the lifestyle that serves you, especially for example, there are certain routines that are out of our hands, kids schools, or there are certain things that are just bam, they're just, it is what it is. So we have the power, and right now your power is in creating your routine with joy. And then you have the path to light. It reads, I make the conscious choice to move toward the light, one step at a time. I transform my weaknesses into strengths by mastering my thoughts. I overcome obstacles with positivity and acceptance. I develop my gifts and extend my light to every being unconditionally. So whatever anxieties are brewing up, you tell them, hey, I give you peace. You want to go on that bus, whatever it is, that's going to make you feel good, go for it. That's it.
I love that. I love that so much. That is so great. I give it peace. Can you imagine if you just said that to everything that you're anxious about or that you're worrying about? I give it peace. I give it peace. And to really actually just repeat that mantra. Mantras have been scientifically proven to help people, especially that have gone through different injuries in the brain, because man means mind, tra means vehicle. They're meant to actually take your mind to a different place. And so when we're talking about anxiety and we're talking about different stressors and triggers, it's that's an amazing mantra that you could just basically offer to anybody out here that struggles with perhaps that right frequency of thought pattern. So thank you, Dari, for sharing that, because that was beautiful. I feel really called to answer Cheryl. We have some other ones here too, but I really feel called to just to give Cheryl some love. Yeah.
I'm gonna grab a deck.
Yeah. Mantra is basically spell casting. Yes, it is, Steve. I love that. All right. I'm gonna pull 2 for you, Cheryl. Got 1 and 2. Cheryl, are you still here? Let me know that you're still here. Oh, this is beautiful. So first we have for you, I appreciate the beauty all around me, grace and gratitude. And this is the swan and throat chakra. And I feel like this is, I'm getting deep here, Cheryl. I would invite you to write down 5 things, because this is the throat chakra. This is what Spirit's saying. 5 things, okay, that you are truly grateful for about yourself, that help you to feel beautiful, that help to empower you. 5 things that you're grateful for about yourself. Then I would invite you to think about 5 things that you're grateful for in the world around you, okay? And I would start to think about the things that you're grateful for in your partnership, because I think that, to be honest with you, Cheryl, this isn't even about the partnership, where this is more about you and what you are having being reflected back to you, right? And just knowing how beautiful and how special and truly wonderful you are, and staying in that frequency. Because I think that if you get so clear on that frequency and you say it every day, I appreciate, and it could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be mental, it could be spiritual, it could be every single one of those things. But if you're like, I appreciate my eyes, I appreciate my hips, I appreciate my humor, whatever it is, and say that over and over and over again. And I think that shifting into that frequency is going to shift relationships around you to get aligned, okay? To get aligned, whether they're going to be supportive, whether they're going to leave your life. It's more about being in that frequency, because this is what it's about for you, is actually coming inward and appreciating that, and appreciating the world around you, and knowing that whoever you're meant to be with is lucky to be a part of that, and remembering that in yourself. Because here we go, is I trust myself, confidence, self-assurance. That's going to give you the confidence, and this is the heart chakra, to continue this relationship, to continue to be with yourself, whatever it is. But that this is going to give you the reassurance that right now you're looking for, that you're really craving, because there's a lack of it. But it's not that there's a lack of it, it's that there's been almost like, it's like the fog. It's like a storm where it's like, there's like a fog, there's a mist that it's not clearly coming into the surface. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. So hopefully that serves you well, Cheryl. There's also a really strong woman energy that has ascended, perhaps a grandmother of yours, or somebody that was just, that is, it's coming through, that they have like this, they had a really sense of self that's coming through, that they are sharing with you. So let me know if that also kind of makes sense, Cheryl, because that's just kind of coming through, and I'm going to head it over to Dari.
So for Cheryl, I have 2 mantras for you. I let grace lead the way.
Are you kidding me? The word in here is grace, Dari.
Ah! That's crazy. And then the second one is I choose to live with ease. Oh, there we go. There's the camera. I can't find the camera. I'm like,
I can never find the camera. I just spilled water all over my mouth too. It's good times. Go ahead.
So the alignment comes from within. Because in order for one to be aligned with a partner outside, right, you kind of have to have that alignment within, because like energy attracts like energy. So if you haven't like really come across with who you like feel that spark with yet, it's okay. You know, every divine timing, you know, you can takes one interaction and like life changes. It's beautiful.
So true.
I'm going to pull from the romance cards oracle. It's like from Doreen. It's the Angels of Love.
Yes.
Oh, so yes. Okay, so it's in Spanish. It says, attract your soulmate. Right? And I'll translate it. It says, prayer, affirmations, and visualization will help you attract your soulmate. And as you see, like, we could take it to the alignment of the feminine and masculine energy. So it's like within you, you know, allowing to accept with ease, like, I am worth a loving relationship. I am worth a loving friendship. I am worth being graceful with myself and a partner that will be graceful for me. Like,
Yes.
I extend grace to myself as I am on this journey of fulfillment, and I extend grace for myself for the person I'm transforming, so that when I align with my soulmate, the soul that's vibrationally aligned with my soul, we will be a home together. Because it's gonna come. It's coming. Like, you got the swan. Like, to me, that represents the love boat is coming, girlfriend. So,
well, and also too,
it.
I feel like everything you're saying, like the thing is, like the swan, they look so graceful, but underneath they're doing a lot of paddling.
Yes.
So if you feel like there's a lot of paddling that's happening, that's like not leading you to grace, then path of least resistance, right?
Yes.
Do we have time for two more? Because we have two more really quickly. We have that's witchy. If they're still here, I love that handle. That's underscore witchy. If you're still here, we'll pull a card for you. And then we have one last one that we'll take, which is from Romance Farino. So if you're both still here, yes. All right, that's witchy is here. All right. Here we go. I keep getting called to go to the middle of the deck, so I'm just going to do it. Okay, so that's witchy. Here we go. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, I like these cards for you. So I'm going to kind of read it of like, yeah, here. This is what's going on. So we have here, which is, oh, I have it backwards. That's amazing. I don't read reversals, but if you want to, we could read this as a reversal. But honestly, this card, as a reversal, it just means that it's the motivator. But this card actually, I feel like, it being in reverse kind of tells me where you're at. But I create what best serves me: illusions, birth, spider, and sacral chakra. And so it's funny because it being in reverse is telling me, right, that you're creating a lot of illusions in your mind that are not real. That's what you're creating a lot of fear, false evidence appearing real. So it feels very real. So we get to turn that around by really kind of allowing yourself the space to know, what home do I really want to live in? Is that the energy that I want to live in, or do I want to create a web that is of my own design, that speaks to my uniqueness? Because what we have here is my expression is unique, individuality, essence, and rooster and throat chakra. And this is all about you speaking your voice. There is no two roosters that crow or look alike. And so for you, if you've been comparing yourself, if you've been saying like, yeah, but I don't, like, I know my gifts and I know my worthiness, but like I'm comparing and I'm getting stuck in that space, which is totally, I think, what's happening energetically. It's like, no. Your readings, what you're doing, that's witchy, is so indicative of like how you connect with spirit, that is of your own design. That's not of anybody else's. Not even like if you have been taught to do it a certain way, do it your own way. Okay. Something I share with all my Reiki students, I'm like, listen, I'm your Reiki master and I'm here to guide you. But like, literally, like, I don't know, this is how I got taught how to do Reiki. This is how I do it. But just because I do it this way doesn't mean that there's not another way to do it, that you're being called to do it that feels right for you. So it's like, even if you've been taught how to do things a certain way, you've probably expanded and you really sat with it because you're doing the work. You're wanting to create something bigger. But don't get stuck. Like, you are your own spiritual Google. Okay. So just, this is the motivator, right? So we're going to turn this around by really thinking of, what is my creation? What is it that I get to like step out of that fear, that false evidence appearing real, comparison really is what it is, and stepping into your voice. Yeah.
So, right, this is beautiful because this flows right in. So I'm gonna just hop right into what you're talking about: knowledge, your wisdom. So as you can see, like, she's standing on her books and she's reaching for the stars. She's reaching for more. So it's like, once you get to a place, okay, I want to learn X, Y, and Z. You learned X, Y, and Z. Now X, Y, and Z has more to it. How do you like dive into it? Like, what is gonna make you happy? Because what happens is this, like, yes, when we create and we share from others, but we share from within. So our foundation has to be solid. And I'm gonna, to the card, the spider, I think about the 8 limbs of yoga. The principle, one of the first yamas, I believe, is ahimsa, not doing harm. And you have the bottom of the card here, you have self-love. So you're being called right now to reevaluate how you are moving energetically. Are you doing things out of love for yourself? Like, are you doing things that are good for others but harmful for yourself? Like, and it's interesting. Under here, I have changed, thunder moon.
Oof. Oh, I love that.
Like, yeah, like sometimes like I feel like, especially when like you're a spiritual person, we get like, there's this thing where like we overextend ourselves to be good people. We want to be good people. Yeah, we get brain. No, seriously, I feel like
I love that.
people,
I'm like,
yeah,
you're like right here to my heart because you're so right. Yeah.
And honestly, being a good person doesn't get you shit in life. I'm sorry if I offend anyone. Being a good person does not get you anywhere in life. In life, you need to move with integrity. Integrity is like this huge word. It's this huge umbrella that a bunch of shit falls under it. Ahimsa, baby girl. Do things with love for yourself. And it all, and yeah, like it all stems down. I love and light to everyone. But 2022, we are not living to be good people. Let's leave the good persona in the past. No, we want to be beings of integrity, of love, of light.
Right, because your definition of being a good person could look a lot different, right? Like people could have really ill intentions and be like, but I'm being a good person because that's what looks good to them.
Yes.
So I love that what you're saying of like being in integrity, because that's actually authentic. Are you forcing being a good person, right? Or you're forcing some type of that energy? Are you actually that thing, right?
Authentic. I love how you said authentic. And are you being good to yourself? Are you being peaceful and loving to yourself so that extends to others? Like, are you taking care of what you have? Like, and a lot of the times, like when we're good people, we are kind of giving our gifts away, and what we do to ourselves, it's not okay.
And this is exactly what Steve said. I love this. Loving yourself is a part of being a good person. It's all about balance. It's not about loving yourself nor only loving others. It requires both to be good. Yes. I mean, I love that Steve's handled, but I think it's be a good person, right? We're not saying that.
Yeah.
What we're saying is, it's like don't let that be the thing that like
your
pressures you. Yes, don't let that be the thing that pushes you to not take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't let that thing be the thing that puts pressure or force or judgment that you then feel overwhelmed or consumed by, right? So it's like, what is your definition of what it looks like to be a good person for you? And that's really the person to be in, right? In that space. Love this. So great.
This
so
was
great.
Good.
I know. That was so much fun.
The collective.
The collective was on fire today. So great.
Collective, but this self-love, that's all of us.
Yeah.
That's all, like, we all have that.
And Amy, I saw we have one more because I've already gone like over, and I have a call actually coming up soon. So I'm so sorry, Amy, but we'll be here next time. But we have this one beautiful soul, and for the future, just to put it in the question box. Otherwise, I sometimes miss it and gets out of order. But we have here from Romance Farino. Are you still here? Come on down for your card reading. Come on down. You are the proud recipient of a beautiful card reading. So let's just make sure. It's so weird. It used to show you like who was on, and I feel like I can't do that anymore. So I'll wait a moment. And if not, then we'll go to Amy. But Romance Farino, if you are here, we are here for you. Just let us know. Yeah, I think that was, I so needed that. Yeah, a lot of these, and just know too, even if you don't get a card pull that's for you, just know that we're all one, right? We're always connected. So I find that that you can always, kind of pick up on that energy. Okay, I don't see him here. All right, so we'll move on to Amy. Amy, are you still here? Let us know. If there's a specific question, feel free to put it in the question box here. So it was meant to be. There you go.
There you go.
All right. So Amy was first. So I know that we just got one from. So Amy, are you here? For me in Live Jess, it was the drip down arrow by the Q&A keeps changing. Yeah, it's a vibe for sure. I kind of just like look at it like where it goes down and then it goes up. So I just kind of read it that way, or if I feel called. I don't know. I like the box though. I do. I feel like it adds this like certain level of intention. But if you're still here, IG is a vibe. If Amy is not here, then we're going to go to this beautiful soul who just put a question. So Amy, let us know. I definitely feel the messages that were meant for me. Exactly. It's 1:11 here, Eastern Standard Time. So we get to take a moment to take a wish for ourselves. Yes. All right. I don't think that Amy's here either. So if Amy's not here, okay. No Amy either. God. Okay. Lady Diamonds. I don't even know. It's LA Diamonds 76. Are you still here? LA Diamonds. Thank you so much, Jen, for like helping us out navigating. Yeah. I don't know why. I know that Cheller was saying, I don't know if that was what Cheller meant, but like I used to be able to see the different people. LA Diamonds 76. All right, you're here. This one's for you. This one's for you, loves. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going bottom of the deck. I'm going bottom and I'm going to go tap. All right, here we go. I transform awareness shed. Ooh, LA Diamonds. Can I call you Lady Diamonds? I just feel like that's fun. It's okay. No worries. Lady, I don't know why. I just kind of feel like saying that. So, you are letting go of some really hard stuff. You are letting go of things that like have been part of your life, your story, your relationships for a really long time. Please put in the comments if I'm correct on this, because I'm sensing this very strong from spirit. And it's really emotional for you. I'm going to get emotional. It's really hard. It's really intense. And, and this is where the deer's energy is coming through, because the thing is that they have these beautiful antlers that they grow once a year and they shed them once a year, and they're absolutely huge and massive and beautiful. And so it's like you've put in a lot of work to this thing that you were transforming, that you were shifting, but it's just that. Okay, it's awareness and shed. So the awareness part is coming through of like, okay, I'm aware that I am shedding this, and really you perhaps were this thing and now you're this thing. You're just shifting from this form to now that form. So don't just look at it as letting go, because that might be really overwhelming for you at this point. But this is really kind of this awareness of that transformation, that shed, because what you ultimately want is more peace. Peace is in my heart, duality, intimacy. And this is you being intimate with yourself and truly knowing what's best for you. And the duality of that is that there's going to be hard parts on the other side of this. It's not always rainbows and butterflies, and life might look a lot differently. But where you're going is actually more aligned to your soul's purpose. Because the thing is with the orcas and whales in general, they all are talking about a soul's purpose, but it's jumping out of the water and seeing this new reality that they like view as their heaven, right? Whatever you want to call that, but that's their new reality, is seeing this. And so your new reality is reaching for that. And it's totally coming from this place of shedding and really letting yourself bring in more peace, because things have not been perhaps as peaceful. And so you get to be in the journey of that. So I hope that serves you well. Lady Diamonds is what I'm going to say. Yes. Go for it, Dari.
Lady Diamonds. So first of all, we're going to start off with love. The energy of love. Love is in the air. A great time for commitment and taking relationships to the next level. Interesting, because I see here, what is this? The Five of Swords. So challenges and problems. So this is the energy that you're being called to let go of.
Mm.
See, relationships are always evolving, like the one with yourself, the ones that we have with the people around us, and our souls kind of know what we're going to do when we come to earth. And you meet people for reasons. We're meant to have multiple lovers, and sometimes we can love the same person in different ways. Sometimes for someone it could be being with one partner and them changing and evolving together into different people, or sometimes it could be actually different people. So it's learning to see that as wisdom. You see, our love is not for us to grasp. Kind of like when you grab the ocean, you grab the water, right? You grab it in the fist and you pull the hand up, the water comes out. It doesn't matter how tight you have the fist, right? That's
I
what.
love that analogy.
Yeah. Like,
Wow.
yeah, like, and it dude, because look, and it's funny because look, I feel like here we have like these little things that are spinning, like it's the water is flowing. It's about flow. Love is flowing. If love is energy and energy is always flowing, even though like you clip the switch on and it turns the lights on, but it doesn't mean that that's that same like atom that's been there. No, it's been flowing, and bam, when you press that switch, that's a lucky atom, right? So it's like, look at your love and the people you love and how you love yourself as learning experience, as wisdom experience. How you treat yourself and how you treat others and the relationships you have are in your life to help you grow. They're not yours. The same way that like your body is yours, but it's really not yours, because like at the end of the day, like when we leave this earth, it goes back to earth, and you're in like your true person, like your light, your intention goes on to ever being. So
That
it's
was
like, yeah, it's
that was beautiful about
experience.
the grabbing the water. That's going to stick with me for a really long
Mm-hmm.
time. Yeah, because we don't look at it like that. You know, we look at it as like we are attached to this thing, or this thing is ours, but is it really ever ours, right? Is something that's not like our body, our essence, it really, is it ours?
So
Woo!
deep.
Damn. That was like, I'm like, that's all about choice. Like that's somebody else's choice to like let you into that space as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so beautifully said. Well, I just love you. We need to do this again. If
Yeah.
anybody's not flowing, flow to, how do I say the last part? I say it in my own Jessbeinspired way, but how do I actually say it?
Honestly, it's Ira, whatever works, because what it means, it's like a nourishment, it's food, it's life, it's just is. So whatever vibes, it vibes.
I
It's,
always say flow to
yeah,
Aria.
yeah. I call it flow to Ira, but it's flow to Aida, flow to Ira, because it depends on the mood.
Yes. Yes, for sure, Jen. We totally will. Flow to Ira. I like that. Flow
Yes,
to
flow.
Ira. I think that that's so beautiful, because it's like you're literally setting that intention in your name to flow to the things that nourish you versus the things that don't. And
Mm.
quite often we are flowing to non-nourishment, and we're flowing to distractions versus nourishment and peace. Right. And so how beautiful is that? I know that we can't wait for some yoga classes, but even if not that, then we get to really also be in the potency of your beautiful gifts and magic, because I know that you have so many different things.
Reiki,
Your
yes.
YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's where you can catch. I don't have it. I do think I have a Reiki session on my YouTube, but
Yes.
that's just my favorite way of expressing and sharing with the collective. So YouTube, it is. I do my readings, I do my Reiki, and maybe I might do a yoga video. I don't know.
Please,
Subscribe.
please don't limit anything of your magical gifts and essence. And we absolutely love you.
I
Follow
love
this beautiful
you.
soul. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your beautiful, beautiful magic and gifts. If anybody is wanting to learn Reiki, this is it. This is it. My
Yes.
last level 1 and level 2 training of this year. This is it, everyone. So
Go for it.
if you are really looking to, you know, elevate your intuition, your skills, or if you're wanting to learn Reiki with me, this is it. You still have today and tomorrow before 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to sign up for level 1, level 2. But anybody who, and you get to hang out with amazing people like this beautiful soul. And so thank you for everything. And I just love you. And I can't wait to connect with you again soon. And it'll be so great. It'll be so divine. So I love you. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for everyone for sharing.
Yes. Happy Lionsgate. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, happy Leo season.
Right?
Go to the
So good.
spa, get your nails done, retreat, relax.
Yes.
Have
So
fun.
good. So good.
Love you guys. Thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone.
See you
Bye.
next time.